In this video, I'm going to remove this radiator cap style cap and bung off the top of my Peterson dry sump oil tank. Going to cut that bung off and open up the hole and replace it with this Pro-Werks billet aluminum cap and bung assembly. This is the top half of the tank for my Peterson dry sump tank, oil tank for my 427 LS. Engine guy ordered it, Peterson built it for us. We completely spaced off, looking at what cap it would come with. Cap and bung. It's probably a standard cap to come with. They have other options, I'm sure, for billet top, bigger hole. This is a pretty small hole here and little radiator style cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to replace it with this cap and bung. I just happen to have this laying around. It's a Pro-Werks. It's got a little bigger hole, so the opening on this 2-inch 161, and the opening on this is 1-inch 530. So it's about 1 inch bigger. And you can also see here when I compare it, the size of the hole, just a little bit bigger. You can be able to see in there a little better, a little nicer cap assembly. So I'm going to cut this weld, get this bung piece out, and clean it off. I'll have to measure the OD of the lip here and cut out, probably be about right where that weld is. What's this measure? It's got there's a little lip on there that can sit on the tank. 2-inch 618. So that'll put almost out there at the edge of their crappy weld. It's a spun tank. It's probably going to weld like crap, the spun material, but I'm going to get it cut off of there, and I'm going to time lapse it, cutting it, grinding that off and getting it out, and then we'll take a look and see how much needs to be ground out to fit this. Okay, time lapse is over. I got all that weld ground down. Got the old cap and bung, and got the cap and bung cut off. Got this ground down. It's got a pretty nice hole. I measured the size of the hole, opening, subtracted across the lip here what this dimension is, and come up with 150. So I'm just going to scribe. Maybe I can show this right. I'll just do it here now. Put it up. I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to scribe around this 150 thousandths. And then I'll have to grind this with my cutter to this scribe line. Grind it to this scribe line, and then that should allow this little lip that's here to sit right on the top of this tank. But after I scribe it here, I'm going to double check the measurement across it, make sure it's kind of close to the measurement on the bottom of that, the new ring there. This stuff's, it's probably 60 or 80 thick. It'll be pretty easy to grind this, to open it up. Calipers make a nice way to scribe in an opening like this. Probably not the way you're supposed to use them, but it can't be wrong if it works. There. So now I can see I got a nice scribe line to grind to. I'm gonna just close this. I'm gonna open it up. See what it says it's across here. Looks like it's about 2-inch 639. That's just on the outside. Oop. Just on the outside. See, I get 2-inch 639. See, I get a little wiggle there. On the left side over here, you can see that little gap. So what that tells me I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grind this. I'm gonna leave the line. I'm gonna go right up to the line. I'm not gonna take the line off. Hi, Tiff. Okay. I'm gonna leave some of that line on there. And then I can adjust it, but it'll be really close. There, I got all the grinding done. I got it opened up. It actually, I ground to the scribe line. It wasn't quite enough for it to fit, which is good. You don't want it too dang big because they don't give you much of a shoulder to sit on. So you don't want it to fall through. That'd be a pretty hard deal to weld. So I went to the scribe line, checked it. It needed more, so I took the scribe line off, and it was close. And then I took a little bit more than the scribe line, and it sits on there real nice. So now it's a little bigger hole. There's a size comparison of, you can see in there a little better. I don't know, good or bad. I wanted something better than this, and this is a nice bung. It's a nice size hole. The next size that Pro-Werks has is like a big 4-inch. It's really big. I thought this would be just fine. You can look inside. If you had to get a flashlight, look in there, you could pretty easy. I like it. Now, it's cleaned up. It's deburred. It's not cleaned up 100%, but I need to wipe it down with some acetone and clean it all up, and then I'll put it on my rotary turntable and weld that if it'll fit on the plate. I'll have to check it out. But so that's the next thing I'll do, is set it up on the turntable and weld that on. Well, here's the last phase of welding this new bung for the cap on the top of my Peterson oil tank for my 427 ALS. I've got this thing sitting on my rotary device. I need to square it up a little bit. It got bumped a little bit because I had to build an armrest, which consists of a 5-gallon bucket, an old piece of wood from a shelf, 4 blocks, and another piece of shelf that I'm throwing away because I got to get up here while this thing is spinning. So I want to get it as even as possible so it'll spin around and be pretty true. I hope the audio of this is okay because I've got this mic pretty close to my neck to hopefully pick up more of my voice. The darn water cooler is really loud, and I've got a couple towels there to block the sound, and it's helped a little bit, but I won't really know how much it helps until I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I need to make sure it's not going to hit my wood here, but I got this 246 block on here. I'm going to put a tack over here. The 246 block is on there for weight to hold this thing down, so I'm just going to put 2 tacks on it, pull the 246 block off, and then weld this thing on there, and hopefully the audio is okay. And I'm going to get this thing set up on here. I'm going to zoom in just a touch. There. I think I've got this thing set up okay. I might need to adjust it a little bit. Let's try that. Because I'm going to go zap with the tack, and over here with the tack, and then the torch I'll be about right there with the torch, and then the puddle will come right around on the camera if I don't bump it. I think I've got the speed set. The bungs on the bottom here aren't hitting anything anymore. That's what moved it the first time. But I'm not going to mess with the speed. I think I've got the speed set where I want it. The rotary devices are pretty awesome. You can start and stop in one place, and it makes it look pretty good. And hopefully if I got my machine set good by guessing where it should be set, it'll make a pretty good looking weld and make those Peterson welds look like crap. It's my idea, it's my plan, it's my goal, okay? We're gonna find out here in just a little bit. I gotta change out my lens. Okay, give me just 1 or 10 seconds and I'm gonna be ready. Okay, while this side is over here looking at me, I'm gonna put a tack on it here. Hopefully I don't bump this stuff. And I gotta stand on a pedal and push on another. We'll see how this goes. Okay, there's one tack. I wish this turntable had a fast jog button or a release arm that would release the table so you could spin it and then lock it back down. We have some at work that are like that, but I wish this one had a feature like that, but it don't. But this type or brand of turntable has been, we got a bunch of them in our shop at work. They're a very, I guess, I don't know if you call them a tough turntable, but man, they just work. They don't have many problems. If you don't hook up the ground, you'll sure smoke one, and it'll smoke pretty bad when you burn one up. But get this other tack on here, and we're gonna rock and roll. There, that'll hold it just fine. Pull the block off. This might be, I'm using my right foot to run the power pedal. Let me see how this looks. Oh, this looks all right. So my right foot is on the pedal, my left on the torch pedal, my left foot is on the turntable. We'll see if I'm coordinated to do this standing up. Usually I'm sitting down doing this, but I gotta find a spot to start and stop. I'll just pick it right here between these two tacks. Ready? Here we go. From behind the helmet, this looks like it's welded pretty good. Material's nice and clean, the bung is nice and clean, the rod is clean. Okay, I'm halfway around. I just passed my second tack. Actually, that was 3/4 of the way around. My bad. That's that. Done. Get this stuff out of the way. Get my armrest bucket. All right, let's unhook the camera here. Let's get this machine on full speed and get my foot on it and spin it around here. Man, it's a little grainy. If I had a few of these to weld, I would make some adjustments on the machine, but there's a start and stop. It might, it looks all right. So that's it. That's all welded up. I got the cap. It's got a nice little rubber O-ring on the top there. Obviously, I ain't gonna stick this on right now because it's hot. So this rascal is wrapped up. It's ready to use. Got a bigger hole to look into. Cool. All right. Catch you later. Bye.